Have you ever heard of blue balls? It is a common phrase, right? You might have felt some unexplained genital pain or pressure after getting aroused, or maybe you have heard people talk about it. It is everywhere in popular culture. But what is it really? We need to look closely at this idea. We want to understand what is true and what is not. This is not just about pain. It is about anxiety, bad relationships, and even sexual pressure. People usually describe blue balls as discomfort in the testicles or genitals. It supposedly happens when you get aroused but do not ejaculate. Sometimes they call it epididymal hypertension, a fancy term. It is in our dictionaries. You hear it everywhere. We even use it for any denied wish. But here is the real kicker. This idea, this blue balls thing, often gets used to pressure someone sexually. Sometimes it even leads to violence. That is a huge problem, do not you think? So, is blue balls a real physical thing? Science has not really proven it. Back in 2000, two researchers, Shalit and Nierenberg, wrote about a young man with temporary testicular pain. It was just one case. They looked for other studies on blue balls. They found nothing solid. They said, hey, maybe this is real, but we need way more research. Guess what? Decades later, we are still waiting for that research. We decided to dig deeper. We searched major medical databases like PubMed. We checked urology textbooks. We looked for blue balls and epididymal hypertension. What did we find? Almost nothing. Just that one case report from Shalit and Nierenberg, a couple of letters written about it, and then a recent article from 2023. That one talked about the link between believing in blue balls and sexual pressure. Think about that. So much talk about blue balls online, but very little real science. Many websites say Shalit and Nierenberg proved blue balls is real. That is just wrong. A case report is not proof. It does not define a medical condition. It does not give hard scientific evidence. Still, these sites list symptoms: heavy testicles, belly pain, general aches, maybe a blue tint down there. If this were a real condition, would not we have more answers? This huge gap in science is a big problem for sexual medicine. Even groups like the Sexual Medicine Society of North America talk about epididymal hypertension. Their website says it is a real condition. They explain, usually when someone ejaculates or loses arousal, blood leaves the area. The penis and testicles go back to normal, but sometimes blood stays in the genitals for a long time. No orgasm, no release. That is when epididymal hypertension happens. The extra blood in the testicles makes them look bluish. Most online explanations say something similar about blood building up. But let us think about this scientifically. This blood buildup idea, it is really vague. It does not line up with what we know about the body. Sure, more blood flow or blood getting stuck can cause pain somewhere. Sexual arousal definitely brings more blood to the genitals. But here is the big question. Why would this specific pain happen only if you do not orgasm? Many people enjoy long periods of arousal without immediate ejaculation. They use it to feel more pleasure. So, to say pain must happen only in a specific, non-orgasmic, partnered context, that just does not make sense clinically. It feels like a huge jump in logic. We have so little scientific clarity on blue balls. Online, people often call it benign. They say it just goes away on its own. So you might think, no big deal, right? Wrong. Our investigation found so many stories online. People misuse this benign idea. They use it to pressure others sexually. This often leads to sexual violence. This is serious. We cannot ignore it. Let me give you an example. In February 2022 on Reddit, a forum for women called r/2x chromosomes had a thread. The title was Blue Balls and Sexual Pressure Coercion. The first post asked, have you all experienced this? I have, multiple times from multiple men. The replies flooded in. Over 400 responses. One person shared this. So many times. When I was younger, I actually fell for it and have been coerced into sex after repeatedly saying no. I would even overly explain to them why I do not want to cuss. They would not take no without an explanation. All of them used blue balls to manipulate me successfully because warfares we were making out, and you cannot stop there. They kissed me first. It took me a long damn time to realize I was being raped those times, even though I already knew it felt horrible. Can you imagine? This kind of manipulation is happening all the time. Another study by Leveng and others surveyed over 2,600 people. Guess how many people with a penis actually believed blue balls is real? Only 41.5%. Most did not believe it, or they just did not know. So a lot of people are already skeptical. What is truly disturbing? 40.1% of women in that study reported serious pressure to have sex. Their partner complained about blue balls. These are real numbers. This should be a wake-up call for doctors and sex educators. If blue balls is not a real physical thing and we let it stay undefined, we are actually enabling this pressure and violence. We see so much evidence online. The Levang study also has painful examples. This manipulation and violence are happening way too often. We need to face this. If blue balls is not physical, then what is it? We think it might be psychological. It could be like other somatoform disorders. Have you heard of conversion disorder? It is when severe stress or emotional pain shows up as a physical problem. Your body feels it, but it is not something doctors can find physically. No medical tests show why you hurt. These symptoms often appear in body parts linked to past stress or trauma. Think about someone who suffered abuse. They might get chronic pelvic pain or belly issues with no clear cause. The mind and body are connected. And here is the important part. People with conversion disorder are not faking it. The pain is real to them, but it is unconscious. Another idea is factitious disorder. This is different. Here, someone might consciously fake or exaggerate symptoms. They want something from it. They might pretend to be sick or hurt to get sympathy, or maybe to avoid responsibilities. In the blue balls context, someone could be faking the pain. They are trying to get sympathy, and then they pressure their partner for relief. Now, we are not saying blue balls is exactly conversion disorder or factitious disorder, but it shares many traits with these known psychological conditions. We think these psychological ideas explain the blue balls symptoms much better than the unclear, unproven epididymal hypertension idea. We need to look into these psychological links seriously. They should be part of how we understand blue balls. How do we treat these kinds of body-mind conditions? We usually start with education. We explain how your mind and body connect. Is the blue balls pain physical or mostly psychological? Knowing this empowers you. It helps you understand your own body and what triggers your pain. We always validate the pain you feel. Then we rule out physical causes. After that, we look at any psychological factors that might be contributing. Blue balls is still poorly defined, even though everyone talks about it. The science just is not there. It does not prove it is a real physical medical condition. Doctors have often dismissed it. They thought it was benign, but we cannot ignore the clear risks of sexual pressure and violence linked to this idea. This dismissal is dangerous. Blue balls might be more about psychological stress showing up physically. It is not a simple physical condition. We need serious research to understand it better. This research can help everyone. It can prevent distress, manipulation, and sexual violence. If you are feeling persistent pain after arousal, or if you feel pressure or anxiety in intimate moments, please talk to a doctor or a mental health professional. Understanding what is really happening is key. It helps you heal. It builds healthier, more respectful connections.
This video is brought to you by Global Men's Wellness, your 24/7 AI health expert. Get on-demand, concierge-level answers in seconds, not weeks, without the cost, the wait, or the awkward conversations associated with traditional medical visits. Take control of your health anytime, anywhere. Visit globalmenswellness.com to start your free trial today.